Okay. Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Libby. I haven't posted on YouTube in a good few months because a lot has changed in my life. If you hear little clicky clackies, that's my dog Winnie. She'll definitely make an appearance at some point. As you can see, I'm in an apartment now. I have my own place, but as you can see, also I have a lot of my plants out. I have a pretty decent sized collection of plants at the moment, and I love having my plants, but my collection has bugs. Yay, my collection has bugs. So since that's like not the most fun chore to take care of, I thought I would do a little video about it, and it could be kind of a hangout kind of thing, and then also a little bit informational. We'll just get to it. We're doing this. So I have my little coffee, I have my supplies, and I have a decent chunk of my collection in front of me, so I could tackle this issue so it doesn't spread further. We're gonna make a little concoction in this little bowl. So I have some just regular water, I have some dish soap, and then I have some isopropyl alcohol. And then obviously I have some paper towels. I'm gonna go in and I'm literally gonna like wipe down each and every leaf on all of these plants. And this plant is gonna be really a task. And I've known this plant had bugs since I got it, and I have just been putting it off. But now that a good chunk of my plants have bugs, I need to do something about it. So I might even want to start with this one, so it's like I just get it over with, you know? This plant is called a Syngonium white butterfly. It was literally $8.99. So I'm like, girl, that is such a good price for the kind of plant it is, as well as the size of the plant. So I was like, absolutely. There was one more of these plants at the store, and I was like, I might as well get both of them. But then I looked at the other one and it like had mealybugs really bad. So I just got this one, and now this one has thrips. Love that. I'm just gonna get into this plant right here. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put some water in this and like fill it up, probably like mostly, and then put a tiny bit of this, which is dish soap, tiny, and then also a tiny bit of this isopropyl alcohol. I just got this today, so we need to open it. Okay, tiny bit of this as well. Just gonna mix it with the scissors. Yeah, so I know that whenever you, I don't know what I was about to say, a little paper towel, dip it in there, and then I'm just gonna start literally wiping down each and every leaf. So hopefully it gets everything. Yeah, so there was 2 bugs on this leaf alone. So I'm thinking that this plant is what kind of brought the bugs into my collection, because I had not seen any bugs before that. And I have an alocasia, which that plant, if you know about plants, then you know that that plant is like really susceptible to attracting bugs. I've had an alocasia before, and like it just like would constantly get mealybugs. But that plant And it was even next to this plant. This is just a propagation from this one, and it was next to that, and it still doesn't even have bugs. Like that one has bugs on it. But my alocasia doesn't have bugs, so that's really amazing, because that has been something, honestly, like since I got that plant, I've been like looking at it for bugs, like I don't know, 3 times a week. Like this process of wiping down the leaves individually will also help it photosynthesize better, because when dust gets on a plant, or like builds up on a plant on the leaves, it can make it harder to make it harder for the plant to like receive the light. So this will be a good thing either way. Oh goodness, that looks like, I know that's the rips. I can't tell if it's mealybugs or if it's spider mites on this. Oh yikes, this might be spider mites too. Shit, dude. Oh, that is not good news. That's horrible news. So some of the leaves don't have like any bugs on them, and some of the leaves have a ton of bugs on them. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this plant, and then I'll come back and do the rest of my plants. Okay, so I thought I would show you guys a little close-up of these stupid idiots that need to get off of my plant. Let's focus that, please. Thank you. So these, I think, are spider mites, these little white dots, and then also on this leaf has these little black dots. Let's focus, please. Focus. Yeah, these little black dots right there. So it has 2 different kind of bugs, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, these, you can see how beautiful this plant is. So that's why I'm definitely like, I need these bugs gone so this plant does not die. There are still a lot of new growths on this plant, which is great. It actually has a ton of new growth. So it's still in healthy condition, but we just need to get those bugs eradicated so this does not die. But yeah, so I'm just wiping front and back of the leaves, and then checking the stem, making sure that there's nothing on the stem and all of that. And yeah. Okay, so I have finally finished my big syngonium. I like rotated the plant several times around and make sure that I saw every single little bit of bugs. Throw everything away. Make sure that you clean your hands before handling other plants after. I dumped out the excess concoction in here. I'm gonna make some more for the next plant that I'm going to be doing this for. There's Winnie, but the plant is right here, just kind of isolating a little bit. Obviously that plant is pretty close to it, but it's gonna be okay. So it's just gonna be isolating. I think all these plants I'm gonna kind of group together. They don't need like too much light. They don't want direct sunlight, like directly after cleaning them, or it could burn their leaves. So just be aware of that when doing this. Oh, okay. Give me a second, I need some coffee. Okay, so I think I am next going to do my 2 propagations of the same plant, which these 2 are actually doing amazing. I am personally extraordinarily fascinated by plant propagation, because like, let me show you those roots, those juicy roots. We have 4 really nice juicy roots on this, and then there's also a new growth sprouting from it. However, the leaves do have bugs on that one, and then this jar has 2 different propagations in it, which both have nice little root systems sprouting out of it, and then they both also have new growths. So we want to make sure that the new growths get the best possible opportunity to live and sprout and do amazing. So we're obviously going to treat them. I'm gonna just do those at the same time since it's the same plant, same bugs, and they both came from the mother plant, which is the one that I was just working with. I think I am actually going to just chop this one leaf off because it has a bit of damage at the end, and then it has a few little spots. On the mother plant, I also took away I took off about 4 leaves on the mother plant. I took a few that looked like they had a bit of damage, and so with thrips, they actually can lay their eggs like inside of the leaf, which can just look like regular leaf damage, but if there's eggs in there, obviously the bugs are gonna come back. So we wanna make sure that we get any damaged leaves, just in case that's the case. Obviously with that last plant, there's a ton of leaves. So it definitely took a little bit longer with that bigger plant, but it's a pretty simple process. As you saw, I didn't put it back in the jar that it was in. So I am going to rinse the water out, rinse the jar out, change the water, just to make sure that we're not continuing to spread anything. I didn't realize how bad it was until yesterday. I took a peek at it, and I guess it just got worse. Because I remember when I first got it, I checked and there was like maybe like 1 bug, and then I would say I've had it for like maybe 2 weeks, and within those 2 weeks, without treating it, obviously I got to the point where I'm seeing them kind of easily without like using a fucking microscope. And then also now there's 2 different type of bugs that I didn't even notice. So you can, what I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that like these issues can spread really quickly, and then they can end up killing your plant. So you know, but it is like a pretty common thing when you have houseplants to get little bugs, especially if you have a lot of them, or if you get them from, you know, big box stores. Like I got mine from a hardware store, you know, so obviously they're not gonna do much to make sure that their plants don't have spider mites, you know, because that's not their specialty. But yeah, just make sure that you're looking through them. But yeah, now I know that if I see like 1 bug, that it's gonna turn into a million bugs. But yeah, the infestation wasn't like horrendous on the mother plant. It wasn't like really horrible. So I'm hoping that I won't have to like go back like 4 different times to do this. You want to wait like a week, I would say, before doing another treatment. Also, I have learned recently that if you have leaves that are like, they're full grown but they're like curled, like they don't come all the way out like this, that could be a sign of pests. I think this one has one like that, and then yeah, that one and this one have little leaves that aren't fully unfurled. Oh my god, why, like, I feel like I have like dog hair like sitting all over my face right now because I keep getting little itches. We have all of these guys cleaned off. I am going to rinse out their water, refill it, and then put them over there, and then we can work on a new plant. All of my syngonium is done. So next I am going to go through this plant. So I'm going to take it out of its pretty pot. Okay, this plant is a philodendron. It's just like the regular heartleaf vining philodendron. Pretty much a staple plant, I would say. I really love a good vining plant. Obviously the ones that shoot out and they do all their things, those are beautiful, but I think that having a vining plant is just like a must in a plant collection. In my opinion, in my plant collection, I will say. I don't remember exactly what the ID of this plant is. I know that this is commonly just called like a heartleaf philodendron. When I first got this plant, it was doing amazing. It was giving me like honestly like several new leaves a week. It was growing so quickly and the new growth was so fun to watch, and then it slowly started to get really leggy. So that just means like the space between the growth point is getting longer and longer, and then the growth started getting smaller and smaller. Like the new leaves started to become really small. So I'm hoping that with this process that will kind of help it, because I honestly, like, as I'm doing this, I don't even see any bugs. We will see. If not, I was thinking it was just not getting enough light, but now it's right next to this east facing window. So I'm not really sure. It might just be like out of its growth period. But I'll figure it out. I've been kind of troubleshooting and trying to figure out exactly what it is. If this doesn't help though, with it being in this east facing window and with it being now, fully wiped down, if that doesn't help the growth, then I'll probably end up repotting it and like looking into the root system just to make sure that there's nothing going on behind the scenes that I'm not able to see. Like, honestly, this is a reason why I love the vining plant, is because they do grow so quickly, and like they just shoot out a bunch of new leaves and they do all this fun stuff, and all the vines, and all the vines are different shapes, and they really interact with their environment because they like grow towards the sun, and then that's so fun to watch. So I miss this plant doing really, really well for me. So I think I did just get some bugs off this. So honestly, hopefully that's the only issue with this plant. It's good either way to wipe the leaves down, because I have seen like some like hard water spots on this plant, and then that can make it a little bit harder for it to photosynthesize. I think I said that earlier. I'm just going to finish this up and then come back when I'm done, so it's not so boring. So I'm gonna go through and just pick off a few of the leaves that are browning, and then I'm going to treat it for bugs because it does have a very small amount of thrips on it, so it's not like absolutely infested, but you know, we want to get that when it's new, so it doesn't spread. Yeah, honestly, this plant is not doing too bad, especially given the fact that there's literally like a new sprout. Oh, I just found out there's 2 of them. 3, 4. Okay, no, it's actually not doing too bad. It's not getting a whole ton of light, which I think in the next few days, like after I treat this and give it some time to settle in, then I'm going to put it outside for a few days and then bring it back in, water it, put it back outside, blah, 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 blah. Because it is a plant that likes more light than just simply in an east-facing window. It's pretty much like a garden plant, like an outside plant that can handle like a ton of light. So I'm honestly kind of surprised that it's giving me new flowers. Now we're gonna go in, do the same exact thing. With doing this, I really thought that this was like so much worse than it is right now, so it was such a daunting task to start, but it's honestly that like it's not like totally infested or anything, so I think we're good. There's just a few, we're gonna take that leaf, there's just a few leaves that have 1 to like 5 thrips on this one. I didn't know if I said that it was thrips that I was seeing on this one, and then I suspect spider mites, but those are so teeny, so I'm like, is that just like lint or something? I'm obviously going to keep an eye on this begonia. I don't think there's bugs on this. Let me see. A little bit of bugs. So we are just going to, I think I'm even gonna take a few of these leaves off. Like this one. Oh, I don't wanna get the other leaf. Okay, here we go. So that one I think had, yeah, because the texture of this plant, there's like a really thin part right here that might even be like fungal, possibly. Hopefully not. Anything else? Okay, that could just be pulled off. Just kind of cleaning it up. Okay, so there's also 2 leaves right here that I am wondering if they just got scorched by the sun, or if this is something possibly going on within the roots, because they have these little spots right here. You can see these little like lighter areas on this leaf, and then there's a little area that's kind of starting to thin out on this leaf, so I might even just take this leaf and then keep an eye on it, make sure that it doesn't happen with any other leaves, and if it does, obviously I'll just have to, oh, see, now this one is thinner. Okay, we're just gonna definitely downsizing the plant. But yeah, a lot of the plants that I have right now I've gotten from like big box stores, so they probably just come with various different issues. Also, like, just a good time to hang out with your plants. Like, I was actually really not looking forward to doing this because I was like, oh, that's such a chore. I'm gonna have to go through each and every leaf and blah 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 blah. But now that I'm doing it, like I'm like, honestly, this is kind of, I don't know if I would say fun, but it's like a little bit fun. Like a little bit maybe, because like I just get to hang out with my plant in a new way and look at every single leaf, appreciate the colors, because this plant is actually super duper beautiful. It's a begonia and it has these little teeny pink flowers that bloom out of it, and the leaves are like these really pretty reddish green. Just a really gorgeous plant. This is another philodendron. I actually don't know like the names, like I don't know all the names of the plants other than the syngonium, the white butterfly. I know that that's a syngonium white butterfly, but other than that, I'm not good with all the different species names. But this is just a climbing philodendron, and it has these like velvety leaves. So I'm probably gonna need to make sure that once I'm done wiping these leaves, which this is a pretty young plant, so it doesn't have a bunch of leaves, so this will be pretty quick. But once I am done wiping them off, I'm gonna go and make sure that they're dry, because I think that if you have a more velvety leafed plant, no, I think this leaf does not look healthy. I'm going to cut that off. It really did not look healthy. But yeah, if you have a velvety leaf plant, it is important to kind of make sure that the leaves are dry, which, you know, can be a bit misleading because they are plants that really like high humidity. So some people want to like mist the leaves on these plants, but make sure to not overdo that because that will just lead to issues with the leaves. But yeah, it doesn't look like this plant had any bugs, but I thought that it would be a good thing to just kind of refresh the leaves and just make sure that they're able to photosynthesize well and all of that. So I'm going to take a dry paper towel and re-wipe them, make sure that they're nice and dry. And then I might even do this with my alocasia as well, because those really do not like being dusty. I have them both in this window in my bedroom. It's an east-facing window. And yeah, I'm just gonna do the same process that I've done with each of these plants with my alocasia, just to kind of, it's more to like dust it off, you know? And then that will also make sure, since this plant is a little bit susceptible to bugs, just treating it before I see anything happen is going to be really good for it. Just to make sure that that doesn't happen, knowing that I do have bugs in my collection. So just a quick little wipe down of all the leaves, and this is going to make sure that it can grab all the light that it possibly needs. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is take a peek at my spider plant, so I will bring you guys. Okay, so this is what the setup looks like on the floor. I have my spider plant right here. Okay, so I've had my spider plant up here in a nursery pot within a cup. So it is right by, it's on my fridge, right by a window, and we're gonna grab it, make sure, because I have seen these dying leaves. So we're going to check it. Put these guys here. Here. Okay. So. Okay. So this one has these kind of crispy leaves that are really ready to come off. So there's another one here. That one was like so ready to come off. And even like the newer, like the little baby pups, these ones are doing really well. So I think I'm gonna end up propagating these. Just gonna chop that off right here. I'm gonna propagate these because these are looking extremely healthy on here. We'll worry about that later. But I'm gonna make sure that this does not have any bugs. The important, okay, that was a bug. I was literally just about to say the important question is, does it have bugs or is that dirt on the leaves? I pulled it off of the leaf, it literally went, so now it's somewhere, which is great. I love that. I love that. Oh. Okay, so, okay, yeah, that's a bug. Get. Okay, this is making me itchy and crawly and creepy. Oh, I do not know. Because it's giving me a lot, so I'm wondering if like it's pretty sick and it's giving me all these babies because it's like, damn, I'm gonna die, so let me like reproduce real quick. Or, oops, I don't know. This is also a fairly new plant. Most of these plants are really new because, you know, I've only been in this apartment for so long, and I got to the point where I could buy a few little cheapy little plants, and buying cheapy little plants from a big box store means they're probably gonna have issues. So I don't know what to do because I mean, it's like, it looks great far away. Like that is such a fun plant to look at, but it's just like, oh, like even with, I probably took off like 4 leaves at this point, and there's like still a lot of leaves that have like crispy edges and stuff. So I mean, I probably should just repot it at this point. Aw. Wait, this little pup already has some roots, some aerial roots growing, so that's gonna root really quickly, which is fun. And then I was given this little cup. It's for like nails. Someone that comes into the coffee shop that I work at, like he comes in all the time, and he's friends with someone that lives in my apartment building as well. He gave me this little cup because he didn't have any use for it. I don't know where he got it or whatever, but I think I'm gonna use that to propagate this little pup. So that's a fun little thing to do. Oh my god, look how cute that is. Oh my god, look how cute that is. Okay, I'll probably put, I'm trying to figure out if I should put 2 or all 3 of them in here. Let me just go ahead and do all 3. That, and then I'll just fill it with water. That's so fun. Oh my goodness. I just don't have like the materials to repot plants at this point, so I think that maybe in my next video I can repot a few plants with you guys, but I think that that is just gonna be the video. I think that I'm done with this. I got a pretty good amount done. This was probably about an hour of my time. But yeah, my back is hurting and I have bad cramps right now, so I think I'm going to end this video off here. I guess in the next video I can talk to you about what I'm gonna do with a few of my plants. I might end up just repotting them. I have been thinking of getting some sphagnum moss and trying to grow a few plants in that, maybe propagations, and I'm thinking maybe my begonia, because I do think I need to repot this anyways. So I'm thinking of trying my begonia in sphagnum moss because they really like high humidity. Let me put some water in this. I have this cup of water, and then there, oops, that was too much. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to stay on top of the water level within this little teeny tiny cup. But yeah, I think that's so freaking cute. That's so exciting, and I've been wanting to propagate from this a lot recently, and now I can organize this. Okay, anyways, yeah, I'm done. Okay, well, have a good day. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I don't know, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Actually, let me know what you guys think about like what is going on with my plants. Other than bugs, obviously. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.